People out there are married? How many have ever been married? How many have ever been to a wedding? So you're all going to relate to this story. So recently, we had a patient who was admitted, a very sick patient, to Methodist University Hospital about a week before her only daughter's wedding was scheduled in Baltimore. And the patient actually ended up being too sick to travel and to attend the wedding. And after a difficult decision, she decided to send her husband and son to be with the daughter who was getting married. And she couldn't travel. She was too ill for that. So understandably, she was a little bit upset about missing that special time. The patient's husband thought, what can I do for her? So he got her this little computer with a Skype on it that you could view the wedding. And I think the team at university discovered that. Mindy Morris from our Patient Family Centered Care found out and partnered with Joanne Cunningham, also from Patient Family Centered Care, and Charlotte Rose, our clinical director of the Fifth Tower at Methodist University Hospital, thought we could do a little better than that. So Joanne contacted Ruthie Hayes and Chip Clay in the Center of Excellence to make arrangements to use the media room so the patient, along with some of her friends and family who were not able to attend in person, could watch the wedding together in a much more comfortable environment, very large screens, in a way that was much more meaningful for her, we thought. And Ruthie and Chip made sure that the room was set up perfectly to view a wedding. Chip ensured the wedding was able to be viewed not only on our screen, but also arranged so that she could be viewed in Baltimore as well, with both audio and visual capabilities. Charlotte and her team on Five Tower made sure that the patient could be cared for during the wedding ceremony. Charlotte contacted the patient's physician to ensure the patient would be able to even leave the floor. She wasn't feeling that well. She also quickly realized that the patient would have a tough time sitting in a usual wheelchair or a chair in the media room. So we went out and actually got a special chair called a stroke chair. That would be the best for the patient. And since the patient and her family are Jewish and had dietary restrictions, they kept a very religious, kosher home, Mindy made arrangements for kosher food to be brought in, and Joanne worked with food and nutrition to get special linens and proper utensils that would still honor the patient's culture and faith. Charlotte, Mindy, and Joanne all came in on their day off to take care of the final details. So the patient had friends who came in early to ensure that the patient would still feel like the mother of the bride. They did her hair, makeup, planned to help her into the bridal dress, but she was too sick to actually get into the dress. So the entire team got together from the fifth floor, thought about it, and found a way to pin the dress onto the patient's hospital gown. And Charlotte also had a florist make a corsage so that she would actually indeed look the part. And now, of course, if you've been married, you know, those wedding days don't always go smoothly. So we had a few small technical difficulties with the equipment, but James Lagos Saez came from the Family Centered Care to troubleshoot the computer issues and had everything ready in plenty of time. Friends and family, including the patient's physician, began arriving, and a few minutes before the start of the wedding, the mother of the bride was wheeled down, oxygened in tow, by Tanika Knapp, our unit coordinator on 5A, Tony Stevens, our PCC, and Charlotte Rose came down from the tower as well. They first quickly discovered, unfortunately, the stroke chair wouldn't fit through the door. So a slight technical problem. Well, actually, with the help of a resident, they went out, rushed around, and came up with a way where they transferred the patient to a wheelchair while others lifted the stroke chair, re-angled it, and got it into the room, and then brought her in the room and put her back into the stroke chair. The the patient had to be moved, and Carolyn Cowens, the family partner vice chair, whose son was in the hospital at the time, by the way, also helped to do this so that the patient could be taken care of comfortably. Once we got her in the room, the patient was able to watch her daughter get married, surrounded by some of her family and close friends. The patient's daughter, who could see her from Baltimore, when they set this up and set it up, immediately burst into tears when she saw her mom on the video link, and was so grateful to have her family at the wedding. A friend of the family mentioned to those in attendance that while making all this happen had nothing to do with the patient's actual health care, it had everything to do with her health and her recovery. The heartwarming story is a true testament to how teamwork across departments help us truly live MLH values every day and ensure our patients are at the heart of everything we do. So for going above the call of duty for our patients and families, the Miracle Team Award is presented to Mindy Morris, Ruthie Hayes, Chip Clay, Charlotte Rose, Tamika Knapp, Joanne Cunningham, James Lagos Sayers, Tony Stevens, James Bell, and Carolyn Cowens. Thank you.
Good job. Yep. Good job. You want Trent to come?